Good afternoon, everyone, from wherever you are listening from. Uh, Thank you for joining us today for today's webinar. My name is Emeka, and I am the digital marketing lead here in Secure Intelligence Limited. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining in. Today, we'll be discussing the potential of AWS for business digitization. And we have our guest speaker with us today. But before our guest speaker introduces himself or speaks to us, there are one or two things we need to understand about today's webinar. If you are just joining us, you already know all of these housekeeping rules. These are just rules to help us to stay informed and know what we need to do for time. So the first one is you need to understand that this section is being recorded and it will be uploaded on our social media channels. And also, as our attendees, you can react or you can raise your hands during the. And if you have questions, if you need to get some answers to your questions, you can always put it in the Q&A. The Q&A is below your screen, right? You're going to see below your screen, you see a question mark icon on like an icon below your screen. That's where you put in your question so that our speaker will pick that question and answer it accordingly. Even if your question is not related, just ask your question. We should be sure that we are going to give answers to it. So we are Secure Intelligence Limited. Actually, we are the one hosting today. What we do in Secure Intelligence Limited is we apply technology to drive effectiveness, we drive agility and growth for businesses. So we help you with to go to market faster with better products. We have cross-functional teams that are skilled and also adaptive, and we are competent and affordable. So we help startups explore their ideas and save costs by building with our accredited development partners. So we also have SEAL Academy. SEAL Academy is the academy side of Secure Intelligence Limited, and we provide a hands-on approach to learning that ensures that our graduates have the expertise to compete globally. We have students from all over Africa, from Nigeria, from Ghana, from Kenya, and other parts of sub-Saharan Africa. So today, like I said, we have our presenter here with us, and he's going to take us through what digital transformation is. Can you move to the next slide, please? Okay. So today we'll be talking about why business digitization. We talk about AWS digitization services, and also we have time for questions and also for answers. Our speaker is going to go in details so that we better understand what business digitization is about. So let me talk about our presenter, Ewere. Can you go to the next slide, please? Okay, thank you so much. So, our presenter, Ewere, is going to take us through some of the major things that we need to understand about business digitization. And Ewere started his career in 2003. He started as a developer in PHP, Visual Basic, and HTML, as well as CSS. He later switched to DevOps and Cloud in 2015. He is the first AWS Community Hero in Africa and the author of two books, Infrastructure Monitoring with Amazon CloudWatch and also Tech Transitionary, which are available on Amazon.com. So you can always check those two books on Amazon.com. He loves to talk about cloud computing, DevOps, and innovation around efficient software delivery, technology, and processes. So with, I don't know, you can just show reactions. You can react. There's a reaction button right below your screen. You can just react to bring in our presenter. Ewere, are you there?
Hello, I'm here. Thank you very much. Hello, everybody.
You're welcome.
Good morning, good afternoon, evening, wherever you are joining from. All right. So, what digitization for your business and the services in AWS that can help you achieve that seamlessly and very efficiently. Next slide, please. The first question to ask is, why do we need business digitization? So we need business digitization for various reasons. So what does business digitization means? It basically means having to ensure that your business is digital and is running with cutting edge solutions that ensure better customer satisfaction and delivery of your business services to your customers. So why would you need it? The first one is it increases efficiency and productivity. So imagine you have to send an email to your customer, and the only way you can send email is to send a dispatch rider to send that particular package to your customer. That means that there is a very high chance that that customer is not going to get that message. A simple digitalization solution to this would be an emailing service where you can send and receive emails to and fro your clients by having their email address and they also having your email address. So it means that your business will become efficient and you become more productive because you can send multiple emails to and fro and without having any kind of issues or challenges. The next is enhance customer experience. So when you digitize your business, you can have better customer experience. I mean, if you look at email marketing these days, businesses are able to target customers based on their segment and ensure that they send messages to the right customers based on their demands and based on their segmentation with which they have. So you have people in certain age brackets as a segmentation. You have the young, you have the middle age, you have the old, and then certain products can be advertised to them based on the segment you have done for them. Innovation and agility. If your business is digitized, it means that you can do more, you can give more, and you can actually innovate more because certain repetitive, mundane tasks have been handled by technology that you don't have to handle yourself, meaning that you can focus on other kinds of business and even create new businesses because the original business is being handled by technology automatically. And then you have adaptation to market trends. I mean, this is something that is becoming that we cannot run away from, which is what the market is saying. What is the market demanding? And at the moment, one of the major things the market is demanding is AI. So at this point in time, your business has to start becoming more AI compliant because when your business is AI compliant, it means that you can drive the remaining 3 points that I already mentioned, which is efficiency, better customer experience, innovation, and agility. And then you have improved collaboration and communication. Gone are those days where you have to pass documents for 4 or 5 people to review and to approve. That document at a point will start looking very messy because most of these corrections have to be done by paper, they have to be done by pens, and at the end of the day, typists in those days have to continue to type the same document because of the corrections that have been made. Due to technology and collaboration on a document, you don't have to have that. People can collaborate real time, make recommendations real time, and those corrections are made real time on the same document without having to make the document to look messy and as ugly as it used to be before now. Next slide, please. Okay, now let's talk about AWS tools that can help your business to become more digital. The first set of tools I'll be talking about are productivity-based tools. I already talked about the emailing of messages between you and your client. And one of the services in AWS that can help you with that is Amazon Workmail. Amazon Workmail is an easy, secure email service for your organization. So you could say, oh, what do you need Amazon Workmail for? Exactly. So what Amazon Workmail does for you is that it helps you to make sure that you are able to send and receive email easily, okay? And ensure that you do not have a problem with the emails that you are sending, or the email does not get lost anywhere. Secondly, it is a secure service in the sense that it works with high security standards of emailing service like encryption, like DKIM, and ensuring that your email does not get hijacked or attacked by fraudulent people that want to take over your emails or send malicious emails to harm your staff. We also have another service called Amazon Pinpoint. Now, Amazon Pinpoint is a service that ensures that you are able to perform market segmentation appropriately. Now, I talked about market segmentation before, but this tool is a tool within AWS that can help you to do that. What Amazon Pinpoint does is that you are able to send marketing messages to customers. Not just to customers, you are able to also personalize and also segment your customers, so that whenever you send a marketing message or you send a newsletter or any kind of message, the customer feels personalized. The customer feels like they're actually talking to me, because these are the kind of things I like, these are the kind of things I've engaged with, and this is actually my name in an email. And that's exactly what Amazon Pinpoint does for you. Next slide, please. Okay, so that's for some productivity tools. Okay, I talked about Amazon Workman, I talked about Amazon Pinpoint, which are very important for emailing service and also for segmentation and email marketing. The next set of tools I want to talk about is machine learning tools, and there are plethora of them, but I just picked these three that we'll be talking about. So Amazon Textract, Amazon Recognition, and Fraud Detection System. So Textract is a very important tool. Now, what can Textract do for you? It's an amazing digitization tool. How does it work? Basically, what Textract does is that it can actually convert all your physical documents into digital documents. So if you're an organization where you have been running paper for like 20 years, and you are afraid of going digital because a lot of your documents are still very, very physical documents, Amazon Textract can help you solve that problem. How does it do that? It uses the OCR technology and the algorithm to be able to read the characters of plain paper and convert them into electronic documents. So it means that your old paper works, your old written works, both handwritten and typed works, can be converted into Word, PDF documents automatically using Amazon Textract. It's an AI tool in combination with optical character recognition, which is an algorithm that can read physical text from documents and papers and make them into documents in your computer. It can also read tables. So if you had a table in a paper document, all you need to do is to run that document through Amazon Textract service. It's going to generate a virtual table, just the way you have a table in Microsoft Word or in Microsoft Excel, automatically for you, and it becomes a virtual document that you can store and use for whatever you need it for within your organization. The next we have here is Amazon Recognition. So Amazon Recognition is also another machine learning service that is very powerful in the sense that it helps you to recognize images. So for example, there's a fintech in Nigeria that uses this tool a lot to identify fake humans from real humans. Now, there was a time where people used to register SIM cards in Nigeria, and practically the pictures of the people there were goods, and there was no way for this system to identify that. But with Amazon Recognition is able to take a picture, it's able to analyze that picture and tell you if that picture is a human being, if it's a male or a female. It can identify certain features of a human being and tell you if that thing is a human being or not. So integration Amazon Recognition into your technology or into your organization, into your system, means that you can actually tackle fraud, you can tackle fake identities, and you can also tackle insecurity problems. The next is fraud detection. So this AI service is very valuable for financial institutions. Now, a lot of times, there are so many ways malicious attackers attack financial institutions, and they use various methods of attack. And it can be very difficult to figure out these attacks because you have thousands and thousands of up to millions of transactions going on within your system at any point in time. Now, what fraud detection can do for you is that it can analyze the data and it can pinpoint patterns and tell you that this particular person is trying to carry out a fraudulent act. And the most interesting thing about fraud detection is that it does this in real time. So all you need to do is to pass your data through Amazon fraud detection system. It's able to identify patterns in your data and then tell you that this is most likely a fraud activity going on. It could be any kind of fraud activity. And because it's a machine learning model, you can actually train the model to perform more customized activities. So it could be that it doesn't detect other forms of fraud that can go on in a system, but you can actually train that model to be more efficient and identify newer methods of fraud. Next slide, please. Okay, and then the customer service feature. Now, this is a very powerful service from AWS that helps to manage your customer service part. Now, this customer service is more focused on contact centers, and this is mostly for enterprise customers, where you have a contact center of a lot of customer service support people who have to handle calls, make and receive calls on behalf of customers, or answer customers' issues when they call them to help them resolve them. And it's a managed service from AWS where you don't have to set up any server. It is managed from AWS and it runs in the cloud, meaning that you don't have to worry about the security of the system. You don't have to worry about the system not being able to handle a lot of calls, because some of the problems we have with GoIP servers that people deploy locally is that those GoIP servers that serve as trunk between the IP and the telco, you discover that when the load of the traffic of the call is too much, you start having calls cutting or calls not coming in, or it starts forming user busy for you. It starts giving user busy, which you will not experience when you use a service like Amazon Connect for your customer support. Next slide, please. Okay, and on to business intelligence. So we've talked about productivity tools, we've talked about machine learning tools, and we've talked about customer service. But what is a business without business intelligence? Now, the business intelligence tool here, what it does for you is that it helps you to understand what's going on within your business based on the business activities. And AWS has a couple of tools that can help you do that. The first one here is Amazon QuickSight. Amazon QuickSight basically helps to summarize and tell stories of your business using graphs. So using things like your pie chart, your bar chart, your histogram, your flame graphs, and other kinds of graphs to summarize your business. So QuickSight can be very important, can be very valuable when you want to know, oh, where are we in terms of our revenue? Where are we in terms of our profit? Where are we in terms of inflow? Where are we in terms of outflow? What's going on with the business? What are the percentages? Where are the gaps and all those things? So QuickSight can help you analyze data and present this in a graphical format. The next is Amazon Athena. Now, Amazon Athena is very powerful in the sense that it helps you to analyze NoSQL data, what we call NoSQL data in technical terms, but semi-structured data. So not every data you generate as a business is usually in a format where you can always read it. Okay, and then that's where tools like Athena come in. So for some kind of database systems, for example, NoSQL databases like MongoDB, they don't store their data in a tabular format. And because of that, they become harder to analyze. Okay, you could also have JSON data from dump of data, or logs from your server, logs from your application that you want to analyze, because application logs can be very, very insightful in understanding the behavior of your customers. I mean, apart from Google Analytics, you can actually use your logs of your application to understand what is going on within your application. And Amazon Athena is a very powerful tool that can help you with that. Now, it runs SQL queries, but it can actually read log data even if the data is not in a structured format. So logs from, say, servers like Nginx, like Apache, you want to be able to understand what kind of devices do your customers use, how often do your customers come to your website. When they come to your website, what kind of things do they do? Some of this data might not be available in we use Google Analytics, okay? But Amazon Athena can actually analyze that data based on the logs that come out from your application. And then we have Amazon Redshift. Amazon Redshift is a data warehouse solution for storing petabytes of data to be analyzed. So most of the time, Redshift is used in organizations where you have millions of customers and you want to perform some kind of 360 view of your customer. So you have customer information, you have customer activities, you have customers that are related to customers, you have customers with similar interests. You want to try and aggregate this data and see if there's any form of pattern that you can tap into to use. So let's take, for example, you run a website where you have people who sign up and perform some transactions, and you want promotion for people, and you have some partnership. Now, the first thing you need to do is to understand if your data. Next thing you have to do is to drill deeper and understand the activities of these people. This kind of data analytics assistance needs to be done with a service like Amazon Redshift that can store, analyze, and also compress that is efficient. So Amazon Redshift is that when you read data from Amazon Redshift, it is very efficient and it takes a very short time to query that data and get output than databases. The thing about Athena is that apart from querying the data from your logs, you can actually Athena to analyze your data and then visualize the data using Amazon QuickSight. Next, please. Next slide, please. Hello? Okay. So moving on to another aspect of business digitization that is very important, which is like one of the most important parts of digitizing your business, which is storage. Now, Amazon has what I call planet scale object storage for all types of files. What I mean by planet scale is that S3 can store petabytes of data, petabytes of data. I mean, organizations all over the world store their data in Amazon S3 because of its durability, its scalability, its availability, its security, and reliability. So it means that any data you store in S3, you are guaranteed and you are sure that that data is secure and nothing will happen to that data. Something very interesting about S3 that you need to be aware of is when you store data in S3, S3 has what we call logical containers called buckets. Okay, so they are called S3 buckets. Those are the places you store those data. Now, for every data you store in an S3 bucket in an AWS region, AWS creates 3 copies of that particular data. Okay, 3 copies of that particular data, meaning that if something happens to one copy of the data, they have another copy. If something else happens to another copy, they have another copy, which gives your data high redundancy and ensures that you are not worried about data loss when you store your data on S3. And S3 can do a plethora of things, okay? Another thing about S3 is what we call S3 Glacier. So if, for example, you're an organization where you have data that is so large and you don't use that data, but you need to keep it for audit purpose, for reference purposes, there's a service called S3 Glacier. So it's also S3, but it's like a senior brother of S3, I can say younger brother. But the data you keep in S3 Glacier is data you don't plan to use anytime soon. So when you store the data, the S3 keeps it for you, Amazon keeps it for you at a very, very, very reduced cost. So you don't spend as much as you need to spend. S3 already is very cheap. You can actually store a lot of files in S3 and you can pay less than $1 every month. Sometimes 0 point something dollars when you store some gigabytes of data. Glacier is also 50% or 50 to 70% cheaper than S3. So it means that if you have data in your organization that you don't use, those papers that are taking a lot of space in your organization and they are taking a lot of space, all you need to do to digitize your data is, number one, take those file documents and use Amazon Textra to extract them into documents and virtual documents and software documents like Microsoft Word, like Microsoft Excel, or PDF documents, and then you are able to store this data in S3 Glacier. So you are not worried, you are rest easy because you are storing it in a secure location, you are storing it in a highly scalable environment, you're also storing it somewhere where you can always retrieve it when you need it. So it means that you have automatically digitized your business using a combination of AWS services for extracting your data, Amazon Extract, and then storing that particular document or those data within Amazon S3, and you are very, very sure that your data is safe and secure. The next is the EBS storage, which is another form of storage. But this form of storage is basically designed for EC2 instances and for web applications and for web servers. So if you deploy your application in a server, EBS volume is the storage for keeping those data. It's more or less like a hard disk of your computer. So the EBS volume is the hard disk, but it is a high capacity hard disk that can do a lot of things for you and has a lot of configurations for what we call IO, persistent IO speed. If you require that people should read data much faster than average, you can configure that on EBS volumes too. Next slide, please. Okay, so in concluding, there are multiple AWS services, okay? There are multiple services in AWS, and an organization can take advantage of, like I already mentioned, there are many services. And I mentioned a few of them here for delivering high security, scalability, and efficiency of your business generally, in terms of making sure that your business is efficient and you can tell your customers that their data is secure. You can also ensure that people do not get to feel like your business is not being efficient because you are not deploying these technologies for efficiency. And then using these tools can guarantee your business to be cutting edge and at the forefront of delivering value to customers and to the business. So basically using tools like AI tools, okay, can also be very, very efficient ways of delivering value to customers in a whole new level. I just mentioned some AI tools like fraud detection and Amazon recognition, okay? Those are AI tools you can start implementing from the get-go to get better value from your customers and ensure that you give them better business delivery. Thank you very much. Any questions?
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much. Queen is supposed to take over this particular section, but I think she's having issues with network. Can we please give our speaker, like, just react to something? Let's know that we appreciate everything that he has taught us. All right. So, is there any question? If you have any question, you can drop it in the Q&A. If you have any question, you can drop it in the Q&A. Okay, there is a link that is being shared in the call. You can also book a one-on-one section. If you have any service you want us to help you walk through with our experts, you can book a one-on-one section. And also, okay, there's a question here. Somebody is asking, please, can you hammer more? I mean, I think it's meant, can you hammer more on the EBS? I think this question is for you.
Okay. EBS is an acronym for Elastic Block Storage. EBS, you can use EBS on its own. Okay, it's like a hard disk, like I said. So you need to create a virtual machine, or what we call an EC2 instance in AWS. Then you can attach an EBS volume to it. So it will work as your storage engine within that particular operating system or that virtual machine where you attach it to. So you can create a Windows server in AWS, you can create a Linux server. Anyone you decide to create, then you can attach an EBS volume for it. So that EBS volume will store your data that exists, just where you have your hard disk or you have your memory card on your phone. Okay, that's exactly what an EBS volume is, and it can store, and I think it can get up to 16 terabytes, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, you can get up to that. I think that's the maximum you can get to, but you can store a lot of data, any data on your EBS volume, but it has to run within a virtual machine or an EC2 instance.
Okay, thank you so much. I believe your question has been answered. Is there any other question that you would want us to pick for answer today before we end the webinar? Okay, so there is a link also that has just been shared. That link is for you to join our Slack community in case you want to get uh, more AWS resources and offers. You can access AWS resources and offers from our Slack community plus other benefits that is not meant for the outside world. All right. So another question from okay. So it says, please can you share more information on the payment processes? How can businesses accept various payment currencies knowing the fluctuation in dollar rates in Nigeria? Okay, I think this question is very related to our pay in error service, but I don't know if Ewere, can you? I don't know if you have answers to this.
So this question is not very clear. So is the person talking about collection from
Okay, so
customers paying on AWS? So it needs to be clear.
uh,
Is he talking about how to collect various currencies for customers or how to pay in AWS? So I think it needs to be clear.
okay, so Clinton, can you make this question more clear? Please share more information on the payment process. How can businesses accept various payment currencies knowing the fluctuation in dollar rates? How can businesses accept various payment currencies? Please, yes, collection from customers. Say where he said collection from customers.
Okay, collection from customers. Although this is not cloud related, basically, but I think the payment platforms we have locally can actually charge in different currencies. So one thing you can do from the cloud end is that there's a service called Route 53. So what Route 53 can do for you is you can actually configure it in such a way that it identifies the country where the customer is coming from. So if you are the kind of business that is global and you want to serve global customers, in the sense that if it's in Nigeria, you can charge Naira. If it's outside Nigeria, you can charge in dollars. If it's in the UK, you can charge in pounds. What you can do is you can use any of our payment providers locally, but on the application layer, you need to do some work in the sense that your application is environment aware or geographical location aware. So one of the services that can help you do that is Route 53 routing policy. So what it does is that it has geolocation. So it can tell you which location that person is visiting from. Now, what you can do is when you get that location in your code, you can change your pricing to fit into that particular environment. Like I said, if you have a customer in Nigeria, you can charge in Naira. If you have a customer not in Nigeria, you can charge in dollar, which will help you to cushion the fluctuation of the Naira. So that means that you can actually charge in multiple currencies and not just charge in just Naira. That is, it's basically the easiest way to charge. So Route 53 can be very helpful in that aspect.
Okay, thank you so much, Ewere. Clinton, I think what you can also do is we have a service that uh, helps you to pay in naira instead of trying to source for dollars. You know, if that is the question you're trying to ask, you can book a one-on-one consultation to better understand um, what your needs are, especially if your AWS payment is up to $1,000 and above. And I think we can talk more on that. Right. Thank you so much, Ewere. Is there any other question that we would love to pick before we call it a day? So keep your question coming in. Right. So immediately after this webinar, you'll be redirected to join our Slack community. It's a place where you get more information, more services, more resources, more information about AWS and other benefits from Secure Intelligence Limited, uh, most especially Skill Academy. Okay, so we currently have a cohort currently going on, and we have cohort 9 open for registrations. And also we have uh, courses from AWS trainings, AWS vouchers, examination, AWS exam vouchers, and so on that you are going to get access to, right? So joining that community gives you insider and exclusive access to some AWS offers that we don't post on our socials. And also, joining our Slack community would give you the benefit of getting first-hand information on webinars. Not all webinars are published online, right? There are webinars we don't publish online. We just let only those in our community get access to them. So joining our Slack community gives you that exclusive access, right? So thank you so much, guys. And also you can follow us on all our socials. Please kindly follow us on all our socials. Uh, on Instagram, on LinkedIn, on Twitter, on Facebook, on YouTube. Okay, aside following SEAL teams, okay, aside following SEAL teams, follow SEAL Academy, SEAL underscore Academy, right? SEAL Academy everywhere on Twitter, SEAL underscore Academy, Facebook at SEAL Academy, and also you can subscribe on our YouTube channel. Aside SEAL teams, you can also subscribe on our YouTube channel on SEAL Academy. Okay, thank you so much. Let me see if we have another question, but currently we don't have. You can always respond to email academy at secureintel.com if you have any further question. And also, you can join the Slack channel, like I said, to get uh, your questions answered. So when you get to that channel, ask the question, drop the question there. You'll be assured that somebody's going to pick that question and answer you appropriately. If you have, if you are a business owner and you want to bring your idea to life, right? You can always book a one-on-one section with us. With a consultant would give you what your business needs. And if you want to train your staffs, right, we are also here for you. You can book a one-on-one section. We would also let you know what you need to know to train your staff. Thank you so much, Ewere. Is there anything you would want to say before we end the call?
Well, I would like to say thank you everybody for joining in. I will just encourage us to try out AWS free tier and also be very active in the community. Community provides a lot of advantages. There are many communities you can join. Secure intelligence community is also one of the good ones where you can learn a lot about cloud and also grow your knowledge base, your career, and also just be great at what you do within the cloud and DevOps space. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ewere. Thank you so much for joining us today. Watch out for other webinars from Secure Intelligence Limited, both on socials and also on the Slack channel. Like I said, there are exclusive webinars that will be on that Slack channel that will not be elsewhere or not. It won't even be on our socials, right? And also, aside that, there are AWS offers that you will get access to. Like I said earlier, you get access to on our Slack community. Thank you so much for coming and do have a great afternoon.
The webinar has ended. Thank you for joining. Goodbye.